Monaco's crowd might surprise you. The world's densest country. Nestled along the French Riviera, Monaco is a tiny yet vibrant place, holding the title of the most densely populated country on the planet. Imagine this. With a mere 2.02 square kilometers of land, it packs in over 20,000 people per square kilometer. That's like cramming a bustling city into a space smaller than Central Park. Despite its small size, Monaco boasts an estimated population of around 40,000 residents. The charm of this principality lies not just in its breathtaking views and luxurious lifestyle, but also in how its people have adapted to their space. Living in such a compact area means that everything from homes to offices is carefully optimized. The streets are alive with energy, and the blend of cultures creates a unique atmosphere. Known for its glitzy casinos, upmarket boutiques, and the famous Monte Carlo Grand Prix, Monaco attracts tourists from all over the globe. So next time you think of crowded places, remember this little gem where the magic of community thrives in an extraordinary setting. Did you know that we lose a total of 9 years of life on smartphone screens? Imagine this. According to research, the average person spends about 3 hours a day on their smartphone. Now multiply over an entire lifetime. Let's say 72 years. It turns out that a whole 9 years of your life is spent staring at your phone screen. Can you imagine how much you could accomplish in that time? Traveling to new countries, learning multiple languages, or writing a book? There are endless possibilities. Next time you pick up your phone, remember you have 9 years you could live differently. Did you know there's a lava river that has been burning for decades? In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, there's the Nyiragongo volcano, which is famous for its lava lake, the largest in the world. This volcanic lake is one of the few on the planet that remains almost constantly active. Its lava flows at an incredible speed, up to 100 kilometers per hour, creating a genuine river of fire. Since scientists began monitoring the volcano in the mid-20th century, this fiery flow has practically never stopped. The lava river of Nyiragongo is a stunning representation of nature's raw power, and its heat can be felt for kilometers around. How about this? Every fifth dollar in U.S. taxes goes to defense. This essentially means that the U.S. spends vast sums on developing its military strength and maintaining global influence. One of the most recognizable symbols of American power, the 100 bill, features Benjamin Franklin, who was never a president but played a crucial role in the nation's history. This approach symbolizes not only the influence of individuals, but also the importance of strategic management at all levels, including defense funding. Have you ever noticed that fresh, earthy smell after rain? This unique scent, known as petrichor, fills the air when rain first touches dry soil. The term petrichor comes from the Greek words petra, stone, and ichor, which is the fluid said to flow in the veins of the gods. It's as if each drop of rain reveals the earth's hidden fragrance, captivating our senses with a touch of nature's charm. Ever heard of Snake Island's deadly inhabitants? This Brazilian island, known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, is infamous for being home to the world's most venomous snake, the golden lancehead viper, or Bothrops insularis. Imagine a place where one snake can deliver a venom so potent that it can kill a human in just a few hours. That's why Brazilian authorities made the tough decision to ban access to the island, preserving both the safety of people and the unique ecosystem of these snakes. The golden lancehead is not only fascinating because of its deadly bite, but also due to its incredible adaptation. Over thousands of years, these vipers evolved in isolation, leading to distinctive traits unlike any other snake species. They primarily feed on the island's bird population, a meal made easy by their rapid and efficient hunting skills. So while the island is a dangerous spot for humans, it's a crucial habitat that highlights the importance of biodiversity and the delicate balance of nature. Visiting Snake Island is like stepping into a real-life thriller, but for now, only the snakes get to enjoy its unnerving beauty. Turns out mantises are genuine aerial snipers. Camouflaged as twigs or leaves, mantises might appear peaceful, but they are among the deadliest predators of the insect world. Their eyes, made of thousands of visual units, form 3D images with razor-sharp depth perception, letting them track even the smallest movements. When prey is in range, the mantis doesn't pounce blindly. It slows its heartbeat, locks into position, and launches a rapid, calculated strike in just 40 milliseconds. Its spiked forelegs act like spring-loaded traps, capturing prey with over 90% success. Some species even snatch insects out of the air with shocking accuracy. Evolution has equipped mantises with everything a sniper needs: camouflage, stillness, precision vision, and instant reaction time. They are living proof that small size doesn't mean small skill. Actually, sea lions create beachside chaos with their voices. On rocky coastal breeding grounds, sea lions don't just gather, they erupt into a roaring sea of sound. These social mammals produce more than 30 distinct vocalizations, ranging from guttural growls to piercing squeals. Each sound has a specific function: defending territory, attracting mates, or calling for pups. During the mating season, dominant males turn beach zones into fortress bars, where they bellow night and day to ward off rivals. Amid this chaos, pups learn the exact vocal fingerprint of their mothers, allowing reunification in dense colonies. Researchers discovered that sea lion calls evolve into regional dialects, much like human accents. Vocal traditions are passed down through generations. These aren't just noises, they're an intricate language that supports social cohesion, identity, and even cultural inheritance. It's interesting that Americans often display an exaggerated sense of patriotism, considering themselves descendants of the founding fathers who fought for the country's independence. This patriotism is evident at all levels of society, from holidays to political decisions. Americans take pride in the fact that the country was founded on principles of freedom and equality, making this pride in their history a fundamental aspect of their mentality. However, despite these high moral standards, statistics show that 40% of children in the U.S. are born out of wedlock, and over 60% of citizens suffer from obesity, raising questions about the significance of these patriotic ideals in real life. Did you know female Komodo dragons can have babies alone? This fascinating ability is known as parthenogenesis, where a female can reproduce without needing a male. It's like a superpower in the animal kingdom. In the case of the Komodo dragon, when a female uses this method, she always produces male offspring. Imagine that! While this might seem strange, it actually helps the species survive in situations where finding a mate might be tough, such as isolated environments. These tough reptiles are the largest living lizards and can be found only in certain parts of Indonesia. The process of parthenogenesis lets a female dragon ensure that her genes carry on, even if she can't find a partner. However, it's not the most common route for reproduction because having genetic diversity usually leads to healthier populations. Still, it's a remarkable example of how nature adapts and thrives in unique ways. So next time you think about the wonders of wildlife, remember the incredible female Komodo dragon and her ability to create life all on her own. Did you know the world's largest crossword puzzle has over 66,000 squares? In 2015, Japanese puzzle master Nomio created the world's largest crossword puzzle. This gigantic puzzle boasts 66,666 clues and 93,700 squares. It took 4 years to complete and was displayed in a Japanese shopping mall. Today it's preserved in a book form, giving puzzle lovers a chance to marvel at this monumental brain teaser. Can you imagine that the highest temperature in the USA was recorded in California's Death Valley at 56 degrees? It's one of the hottest and driest regions on the planet, where living conditions are extremely harsh. In contrast, the lowest temperature in the USA was recorded in Alaska at -60. These temperature extremes illustrate the incredible climate diversity in the country, from the scorching heat of deserts to the deadly cold of the northern latitudes. Imagine for a moment that almost every family in the U.S. owns a car, with most families having more than one. This car culture has become an integral part of American life, and almost everyone, from large cities to small rural communities, relies on automobiles. Only a tiny fraction of families are without cars, highlighting how vital vehicles are to Americans. In the U.S., a car is not just a means of transportation, but also a symbol of freedom, mobility, and independence. How would you react if you found out that Las Vegas is the brightest place on Earth, visible even from space? This city has become the unofficial capital of gambling and casinos. Interestingly, the legalization of casino operations in Nevada was aimed at boosting the state budget, which needed funds for building schools. As a result, Las Vegas has transformed into a true cultural phenomenon, with its bright lights symbolizing not only the city, but also the entire American dream associated with risk-taking and entertainment. The chewing gum pack that changed retail forever. Imagine that the first product ever sold with a barcode was a pack of Wrigley's chewing gum. This historic event took place on June 26, 1974, in a supermarket in Ohio. This moment marked the beginning of a new era in retail, where barcodes became standard for simplifying shopping and inventory tracking. Barcodes quickly became a global standard and are still used in every store today. So the next time you buy something with a barcode, remember that it all started with a simple pack of chewing gum. Did you know that the number of slot machines in Las Vegas roughly equals the population of Nevada? Each year, these machines generate about $10 billion for the city's economy, highlighting the importance of casinos as a revenue source. Las Vegas is more than just entertainment. It is a massive industry that supports an entire state and significantly impacts the national economy. Did you know that one of the most recognizable symbols of the United States, the Statue of Liberty, was a gift from France? The statue, installed in 1886, was presented as a token of friendship to strengthen the ties between the two countries. Interestingly, its architect was Gustave Eiffel, who later became famous for constructing the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The statue embodies not only freedom and democracy, but also the American dream, as it marked America's emergence as a global symbol for those seeking a better life. Notably, every anniversary of its installation is celebrated in France. Did you know that in the USA there is a monument known as the Four Corners, located at the intersection of 4 states: Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona? This unique geographical location is one of the most unusual in the world. Thousands of tourists flock here to take photos at the point where 4 states meet. This monument is not just a point on the map. It's a symbol of how geography can create unique, almost magical places on Earth that become cultural and historical landmarks. Moreover, it draws the attention of researchers and geographers from around the world, serving not only as a tourist attraction, but also as a subject of scientific study. Pteronophobia, an unusual fear you might not know about. Did you know that the fear of being tickled by feathers has its own name? It's called pteronophobia, and it's characterized by an irrational fear of being tickled by feathers or even by feathers themselves. While this phobia is rare, it can cause significant stress and anxiety for those who suffer from it. This unusual fear is yet another example of how unique human fears can be and how they can impact daily life. Did you know that Hawaii is home to the tallest mountain peak in the world? Although Mount Everest is the highest point on land, when considering the underwater portion of the Mauna Kea volcano, it is 1.9 kilometers taller. Mauna Kea is a submarine volcano that begins on the ocean floor and rises nearly 10 kilometers upwards. From its summit, there are breathtaking views, and this volcano is regarded not only as a geographical wonder, but also as sacred by the local Hawaiians. Mauna Kea attracts the attention of scientists and tourists from around the globe, as its grandeur inspires admiration and respect. What if I told you that you can boil water just by shaking it? Yes, it's true, although practically impossible to do. If you shake a container of water fast and hard enough, you can create friction, which will raise the water's temperature. Theoretically, if you shake it quickly enough, you could even bring the water to a boil. This unusual physics experiment shows how mechanical energy can be converted into heat. While you won't be making tea this way, the mere possibility that shaking could boil water is astonishing. Could sea urchins use their spines for more than defense? At first glance, a sea urchin looks like a slow-moving, spiky ball, but these sharp protrusions are far more versatile than they seem. Sea urchins use their spines for locomotion, gently nudging themselves along rocks or coral reefs, while their tube feet provide suction and control. The spines also act as sensory tools, detecting shifts in water flow and nearby movement. Some species even carry pieces of shell or debris with their spines for camouflage or protection. In many tropical varieties, spines are tipped with venom capable of stunning small prey or deterring predators. And deep beneath the surface, the spines work as a defense, shield, and even a mobility aid, turning the urchin into a quiet but efficient ecosystem engineer. Beneath the armor is a living machine, maintaining coral balance, cleaning the seabed, and surviving in some of the harshest marine environments on Earth. How Albert Einstein inspired the character of Yoda. Did you know that the appearance of the legendary Star Wars character, Master Yoda, was partially inspired by Albert Einstein? The filmmakers used photos of the great scientist to give Yoda a wise and thoughtful look. Einstein's genius features, such as his wrinkles, pensive expression, and tired yet intelligent gaze, were the foundation for creating one of the most recognizable characters in film history. This fascinating fact shows how modern cultural icons can be linked to real geniuses of the past. The next time you watch Star Wars, remember that Yoda's wise look hides a bit of one of history's greatest scientists. Can you believe that the electric chair was actually invented by a dentist? Believe it or not, the electric chair, one of the most infamous devices in history, was conceived by Alfred P. Southwick, a dentist. Southwick designed the electric chair in the late 19th century as a more humane alternative to hanging. This shocking invention forever changed the history of capital punishment. It's almost ironic to think that a person dedicated to caring for people's teeth would create such a grim device. Throw an apple. Declare your love. The romance of ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, throwing an apple at someone was a symbol of love. This gesture meant a declaration of love and was equivalent to a marriage proposal. The apple was associated with the goddess Aphrodite, which added even more romantic meaning to the action. If the person caught the thrown apple, it meant they accepted the feelings. Modern life may not have such gestures, but this fact shows how much cultural norms have changed over time. Could a cuckoo really deceive other birds? The cuckoo is a master manipulator of the avian world. Rather than build its own nest, it lays eggs in those of other bird species, a behavior known as brood parasitism. But this isn't a haphazard trick. The female cuckoo carefully selects a host whose eggs resemble her own, often mimicking the color, size, and speckle patterns with near-perfect accuracy. Once laid, the cuckoo chick usually hatches first and instinctively pushes the host's eggs or chicks out of the nest. The unsuspecting foster parents, driven by instinct, feed the fast-growing imposter without recognizing the deception. This frees the cuckoo from parental duties, allowing it to invest energy in laying more eggs across multiple nests. It's a strategy that requires cunning, precision, and evolutionary finesse. Proof that survival isn't always about brute strength, but sometimes about outsmarting your neighbors. Did you know that lions are true family kings? Despite their image as solitary hunters, lions thrive in structured social units called prides. Complex family groups often containing up to 30 members. These are not random gatherings, but tightly knit kinships, with several males protecting a territory as large as 250 km and a network of closely related lionesses handling the bulk of the hunting. The females use intelligent teamwork. Some chase prey into ambushes, while others wait in silence for the perfect moment to strike. Even more fascinating, lionesses synchronize their breeding cycles and raise their cubs communally, often nursing each other's young. Meanwhile, dominant males guard the pride against rival males and predators, sometimes fighting to the death to retain control. This coordinated social structure maximizes hunting success, ensures cub survival, and secures territory, making lions not just kings of strength, but monarchs of cooperation and strategy. Who would have thought that Al Capone's business card was anything but gangster? Did you know that the business card of America's most famous gangster, Al Capone, stated that he was a furniture salesman? This is an intriguing detail from the life of one of the most ruthless criminals of the 20th century. Capone rose to fame in the 1920s due to his criminal empire. Yet he concealed his activities in official documents by claiming to run a completely legitimate business. This fact is striking, as gangsters often use legal fronts to hide their criminal operations. What do kangaroos really need such big tails for? These huge tails not only provide balance, but also serve as a fifth leg. When walking, kangaroos lean on their tails, allowing their hind legs to move faster and with less strain. During jumps, the tail helps them maintain equilibrium, and at high speeds it serves as a stabilizer. Scientists believe that without such a tail, kangaroos wouldn't be able to make their famous 10-meter leaps forward. It's a true multi-tool for these amazing Australian marsupials. Vultures and their cooling trick. Vultures have a unique way to stay cool in hot weather. Since they can't sweat, they've developed an alternative method. They poop on their own legs. The water in their droppings evaporates, cooling their skin. This process is called urohydrosis, and it also helps to sterilize their legs after coming into contact with decaying food. So if you ever see a vulture with white streaks on its legs, know that it's not just dirt. It's a clever way to beat the heat and keep clean. Nature certainly has its own surprises. Did you know that kangaroos can't jump backward? Kangaroos can easily leap up to 12 meters forward, but they're entirely unable to move backward. Their long and powerful tails provide balance, but also prevent backward propulsion. This limitation is due to the unique structure of their legs, which are solely adapted for forward jumping. Kangaroos are true masters of one-way leaping. And how about this? Kangaroos deliver a lethal kick with their hind leg. The red kangaroo, the largest marsupial on Earth, may look cute, but it's equipped with a deadly secret weapon: its hind legs. Packed with massive spring-loaded muscles and supported by a thick, balancing tail, these legs can deliver kicks at nearly 50 km/h with force strong enough to crack ribs or knock down a predator. In a fight, a male kangaroo balances on its tail like a third limb, launching both feet in a swift upward motion that can incapacitate opponents. These kicks aren't just used in defense. They're crucial for determining dominance within groups, with males boxing, grappling, and kicking to establish rank. The tail also stabilizes them during jumps, turning each movement into a calculated burst of agility and power. In the wild, the kangaroo's kick isn't just a defense, it's a declaration of strength, precision, and control. Wow, it turns out the bombardier beetle fights with chemistry. Among insects, few are as explosively clever as the bombardier beetle. When threatened, it doesn't flee, it fires. Inside its abdomen, it stores hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide in separate chambers. When danger nears, enzymes mix these two chemicals, triggering an exothermic reaction that releases a jet of boiling, noxious fluid at nearly 100 degrees C. This chemical blast is ejected through a swiveling abdomen that allows the beetle to aim like a tiny flamethrower, defending itself from predators many times its size. The entire reaction completes in less than a second, accompanied by an audible pop that startles attackers. What's even more astonishing is the beetle's internal valve system, which pulses the blast in bursts to prevent self-injury. This is chemistry at its most aggressive, an insect-turned-walking lab reactor capable of outsmarting predators with pure elemental force. Organic food, truth or myth about its benefits? Research shows that there is no significant difference between organic and conventional foods in terms of nutritional value. While many believe that organic products are healthier and taste better, science doesn't support major distinctions. Some studies have also found no notable differences in taste. However, people often choose organic foods for lower pesticide levels and more eco-friendly farming practices. When choosing between organic and conventional, it's up to each person to decide what matters most: taste or caring for the planet. Wow, in some U.S. states, atheists are not allowed to hold public office. In the U.S., there are 7 states where atheists are legally prohibited from holding public office. This is intriguing, as America is known for its fight for religious freedom. However, in some states, laws still exist that restrict the rights of individuals in public service based on their religious beliefs. This issue remains relevant for many residents seeking legislative changes that would guarantee full religious freedom for all citizens. Why Washington, D.C. has no skyscrapers. Washington, District of Columbia, is a city with a unique skyline. There are no skyscrapers. This is because of the Height of Buildings Act of 1910, which limits building heights to ensure that no structure can overshadow the Capitol or the Washington Monument. As a result, the city has a distinct, low-rise architectural style that preserves its historic charm and keeps the monuments visible from almost anywhere in the city. Did you know that ostriches lay giant eggs? Ostrich eggs are the largest of any living land animal, each weighing up to 2 kilograms and equivalent in volume to nearly 24 chicken eggs. Their shells, up to 3 millimeters thick, are marvels of nature, strong enough to support the weight of an adult human without cracking. Ostriches lay their eggs in communal nests, shallow pits scraped into the ground where multiple females contribute to the clutch. A dominant female and the male take turns incubating the eggs, using sand and feathers to regulate temperature during the 42-day development cycle. The yolk is rich and voluminous, providing enough nutrients for the fast-growing chick to break through the thick shell using a special temporary beak tooth. These eggs are not just reproductive miracles. They've been used historically as water canteens, painting canvases, and even instruments of study in embryology and paleontology. Johnny Appleseed, the man who planted apples not for food. Many of us have heard the legend of Johnny Appleseed, whose real name was John Chapman. This famous gardener didn't just plant apple trees across America. His goal was much more interesting. He planted trees not for the apples to be eaten, but to produce cider. In the early 19th century, apples were mainly used to make this alcoholic drink, and Johnny Appleseed became a hero among cider lovers. Knowing this story, each glass of apple cider will feel a bit more historical. What if Darth Vader's voice could live forever? In a surprising twist, the legendary James Earl Jones, the voice behind one of cinema's most iconic villains, has officially retired from voicing Darth Vader since 2022. His deep, resonant tones shape the character we all know and love in legendary films like the original Star Wars trilogy. However, fans need not worry about losing the Dark Lord's menacing presence. Lucasfilm has decided to use archival recordings of Jones's voice combined with cutting-edge AI technology to keep Darth Vader alive in upcoming projects. This innovative approach means that even with Jones stepping back, audiences can still enjoy the commanding voice that has become synonymous with power and fear in the Star Wars universe. It raises fascinating questions about the future of voice acting and the role of technology in storytelling. With AI blending seamlessly with the old recordings, it's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan, as Vader's legacy continues in new and unexpected ways, allowing his chilling presence to echo through the galaxy for years to come. Is it true that humans can see more colors than most other mammals? Human vision is far more advanced than that of most mammals. Our eyes have 3 types of color receptors, known as cones, which allow us to perceive thousands of shades. While many animals see only in black and white or can distinguish just a few basic colors, humans can enjoy a rich variety of hues. For example, dogs see the world mostly in shades of yellow and blue, while we can perceive the full spectrum of the rainbow and beyond. This amazing visual perception helps us navigate the world and appreciate its beauty. Did you know it's impossible to breathe and swallow at the same time? Want to know why? It's all thanks to a small flap in our throat called the epiglottis. When you swallow, the epiglottis automatically closes your airways to keep food and liquid from entering the windpipe. This amazing mechanism protects us from choking and makes swallowing safe. Next time you drink water, think about how your body works behind the scenes to keep you safe every step of the way. Is it possible? The world's longest staircase is on a mountain. Located on Mount Nianbo Yartze in China, there is a staircase stretching approximately 9 kilometers with over 7,000 steps. The climb takes several hours and requires physical endurance, but the view from the top is worth all the effort. Every year, thousands of tourists take this path to see the incredible landscapes visible only from high above. Did you know that American strength lies not only in its economy, but also in its geography? Imagine the United States as a country whose geography is perfectly suited for global dominance. Unlike many nations that must fight for every square inch of land, Americans can control two oceans due to their unique position. This makes the U.S. invulnerable to invasions and allows dominance in global trade. How have they leveraged this advantage? The U.S. has used its geography to establish strategically important maritime routes and exploit them to its benefit. For instance, by utilizing the seaway across two oceans, they control a significant portion of world trade. Believe it or not, the world's smallest snake is less than 10 centimeters long. The Barbados thread snake is a true marvel of nature. This snake holds the title of the world's smallest, living on the beautiful Caribbean island of Barbados. It grows to just under 10 centimeters in length and weighs about 0.6 of a gram, which is around 0.02 of an ounce. This tiny snake feeds on termites and ant larvae, and its eggs are sometimes larger than the snake itself. With its blunt head and toothless mouth, this miniature serpent shows just how diverse and fascinating the animal kingdom is. Why could ancient Romans drink poisoned wine without fearing for their lives? In ancient Rome, people believed that mixing wine with honey and certain herbs would turn it into an antidote. This drink, called Mithridatium, was so popular that everyone, from peasants to emperors, drank it. It was said to protect against all kinds of poisons, and legend has it that King Mithridates VI took it daily to become immune to poisons. Many Romans believed it worked. When someone tried to poison him, he survived. So for ancient Romans, a night with poisoned wine wasn't that scary. Believe it or not, the U.S. has 6 time zones. With regions stretching across vast distances, America experiences time differently depending on where you are. The 6 official time zones are Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, Alaska, and Hawaii Aleutian. For instance, when the clock strikes 9 a.m. in New York City, folks in Honolulu, Hawaii, are just waking up at 4 a.m. This staggering difference can lead to some interesting scenarios. Imagine planning a phone call to a friend across the country and realizing they're still asleep. Understanding these time zones is crucial for everything from business meetings to catching your favorite TV shows live. The time system not only reflects the geography, but also the culture and lifestyle of each region. People in bustling New York may be busy sipping coffee and heading to work, while in Hawaii, the sun is just starting to rise, inviting locals to enjoy the beautiful morning waves. So whether you are celebrating New Year's or planning a cross-country trip, keep in mind the time differences that create the incredible tapestry of American life. Can you imagine that the total weight of all ants on Earth equals the weight of all humans? Despite their tiny size, ants are among the most numerous creatures on the planet. The total weight of all ants on Earth is equal to the weight of all humans. This astonishing fact highlights just how numerous these small workers are. Ants live in every corner of the planet, and their contribution to ecosystems is incredibly important. It's another example of how nature surprises us with its unexpected scales. Who would have thought that ants are such heavyweights in the natural world? The most destructive computer virus in history. Computer viruses can cause enormous damage in a short time, but the MyDoom virus broke all records. Created in 2004, it became the fastest spreading virus in history, causing about $38 billion in damage. It raced across the world at lightning speed, leaving financial chaos in its wake. A brutal reminder of the hidden dangers lurking in our connected technologies. Did you know the world's longest beard measured over 5 meters? The world's longest beard belonged to Hans Langseth, a Norwegian who passed away in 1927. His beard measured an incredible 5.33 meters, or over 17 feet. His legendary beard was so impressive that it was showcased at fairs and exhibitions. After Hans's death, his beard was donated to the Smithsonian Institution, where it remains on display. This epic beard has become a symbol of beard greatness and is admired by many. Hard to believe, but France has a homeless crisis. Despite its glamorous image of fashion, fine dining, and exquisite art, France has been grappling with significant social challenges, particularly homelessness. With over 330,000 individuals currently without a home, it leads the European Union in this critical issue. marking a staggering 130% increase since 2022. The situation reflects a growing wealth gap, where the richest 10% of the population holds nearly 50% of the nation's wealth, while the poorest 10% cling to a mere 2%. This divide starkly contrasts the bustling life of major cities like Paris and Lyon, where luxury and economic opportunity abound, with the realities of rural areas that often lack basic services and viable job prospects. Many people face not just a lack of housing, but also limited access to education and healthcare, making it tough to break free from the cycle of poverty. As the country's allure and elegance mask these pressing issues, it begs the question, how can such a beautiful nation address these inequalities and support its most vulnerable citizens? Did you know that armadillos can transmit leprosy to humans? Armadillos are one of the few animals that can transmit the disease known as leprosy to humans. Though rare today, this infection can be passed from animal to human through contact with armadillos. Leprosy is caused by bacteria and is usually transmitted after prolonged contact with an infected animal. Scientific studies have shown that armadillos can carry the same strains of bacteria as humans, making them unique in the animal kingdom. Although this disease can be treated with antibiotics, it's worth exercising caution when interacting with these cute but potentially dangerous creatures. Who would have thought that such a peculiar little animal could be a carrier of an ancient disease? Can you imagine that the world's largest Ferris wheel can hold over 1,000 passengers? In Las Vegas, USA, stands the giant Ferris wheel known as High Roller. This massive wheel has a diameter of 167 meters and can hold up to 1,120 passengers in 28 spacious cabins. The ride takes about 30 minutes, giving riders breathtaking views of the city. The High Roller is not just an amusement ride, but a symbol of the grandeur of Las Vegas. How would you react if you found out that the U.S. had made Cuba its ally? In 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Soviet Union attempted to place missiles in Cuba, which posed a threat of World War III. However, the U.S. used its naval power to blockade the island and prevent the missile deployment. This crisis was one of the most tense moments of the Cold War, but it also demonstrated how the U.S., through its military might, could influence international politics and prevent threats near its borders. Despite its socialist orientation, Cuba became an important strategic asset for the U.S. at that time. You won't believe it. Blood only lives for 120 days. Imagine that your red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout your body, live for just 120 days. This is literally one of the wonders of our body. Old cells are recycled in the liver and spleen, while new ones are born in the bone marrow, ready to continue their vital mission. The constant process of renewal allows your body to function seamlessly. It's amazing how our body manages this cycle, maintaining the stable operation of all organs without us even thinking about its complexity. Step back in time to ancient Rome's fierce gladiators. In the bustling heart of the Roman Empire, where the Colosseum echoed with cheers and roars, gladiators were more than just fighters. They were trained warriors who honed their skills in special schools known as ludi. These schools were run by expert trainers called lanistas, who meticulously crafted the gladiators' abilities, preparing them for the brutal arena battles that captivated audiences. Imagine the early mornings at these training grounds, where the air was thick with the sound of clashing swords and the shouts of eager trainers. Gladiators practiced relentlessly, mastering techniques not only in combat but also in teamwork, as they often fought alongside each other in pairs or groups. The ludi were places of discipline and endurance, where the fighters learned to withstand both physical pain and psychological pressure. While they were often seen as mere entertainers, these warriors led complex lives, forming bonds with their trainers and fellow fighters, and sometimes even becoming celebrities of their time. The life of a gladiator was harsh, but through rigorous training, they became symbols of bravery and skill, forever etched in history. Can you imagine that the moon is slowly drifting away from Earth? Each year, the moon moves about 3.5 centimeters farther away from Earth. This happens due to tidal interactions between the Earth and the moon. Billions of years ago, the moon was much closer, and in billions of years it may drift out of Earth's gravitational pull altogether. Though this process is incredibly slow, scientists track it using lasers and reflectors left on the moon by the Apollo missions. Earth's gravity. Why isn't it the same everywhere? Have you ever wondered why gravity varies slightly in different places on Earth? It turns out this is due to many factors, such as altitude, the density of Earth's crust, and the distance from the equator. Gravity is stronger at the poles and in places with denser crust, like mountain ranges, because these areas are closer to the Earth's center. Conversely, gravity is weaker at high altitudes, such as on top of Mount Everest and near the equator. These variations are caused by the distribution of mass on the planet and the fact that Earth is slightly flattened at the poles. This highlights the complexity and uniqueness of our gravitational field. Now you know, in some places on Earth, you weigh a little more or less than in others. Did you know that frogs can retract their eyes to swallow food? Some species of frogs have an incredible ability to help them swallow their prey. They retract their eyes into their heads. When a frog catches an insect or small prey, its eyes sink deep into its skull, creating pressure that pushes the food down its throat. It's a strange yet fascinating spectacle in the world of amphibians. Frogs have evolved amazing adaptations that allow them to survive in various environments. And this is just one of the many unique features of their anatomy. Who would have thought that dolphins sleep with one eye open? Yes, it's true. Dolphins have a unique ability to shut down half of their brain while the other half remains active. This allows them to rest while staying alert for predators and maintaining control over their breathing. Imagine being able to sleep while still ready to wake up at any moment. This evolutionary trick helps dolphins survive in the ocean. The spring equinox. More than just a change of seasons. The first day of spring is known as the vernal equinox. The term vernal comes from the Latin word for spring, while equinox means equal night in Latin. During this time, day and night are nearly equal in length. An interesting fact, according to a study on Facebook, spring is the season when couples are most likely to break up. Perhaps the balance of day and night encourages people to seek new beginnings. Who knew that an astronomical event could have an impact on our personal lives? You won't believe what flows in Antarctica. At the stunning Taylor Island, there's a remarkable sight known as the Blood Falls, captivating all who visit. This striking waterfall is not your typical cascade of clear blue water. Instead, it pours out a deep, eerie red, reminiscent of blood, which certainly raises eyebrows and sparks curiosity. But what causes this unusual hue? The secret lies in the iron-rich water seeping out from beneath the glacier. As the salty water, which is extremely saline and acidic, flows to the surface, it oxidizes once it comes into contact with the air, transforming into that striking red color. This phenomenon is both mesmerizing and scientifically intriguing. The blood falls are a fantastic example of how Earth's unique conditions can create striking natural wonders. Despite its unsettling appearance, the water is a product of a complex geological process taking place beneath the icy surface, showcasing the incredible diversity of life and environments that exist even in the most extreme conditions like Antarctica. Did you know that a chameleon's tongue is twice as long as its body? Chameleons are master hunters thanks to their unique ability to extend their tongues over incredible distances. Their tongues can be twice as long as their bodies. This allows them to instantly capture prey that is far away from them. The chameleon's tongue works like a powerful mechanism that can shoot out with immense speed and precision. It's amazing that this anatomical feature makes chameleons some of the most efficient hunters in the insect world. So next time you see a chameleon, remember, its tongue is a real weapon. Can you handle the heat of the world's spiciest chili pepper? The Carolina Reaper, bred by farmer Ed Curry in South Carolina, USA, holds the record for being the hottest pepper in the world with a Scoville rating of 1,600,000 units. That makes it 640 times hotter than a jalapeno. Its wrinkled red skin may look harmless, but consuming it can cause intense pain, sweating, and even vomiting. This is one fiery adventure that only the bravest dare to taste. Have you met the world's tattoo king? Lucky Diamond Rich, a vibrant performer from New Zealand, holds the remarkable title of the most tattooed person on earth. With a passion for body art that's as bold as it is colorful, he has transformed nearly every inch of his body into a living canvas. Imagine this. He has so many tattoos that they accumulate to more than 200% of his skin. How is that even possible, you ask? Well, Lucky has not only covered his entire body with images and designs, but he's also gone back to redesign and add layers to existing tattoos, creating a strikingly intricate tapestry of ink. This dedication to his craft reflects not just a love for art, but also a unique form of self-expression. Lucky's tattoos tell a story, a personal narrative filled with symbols, colors, and meanings that are deeply significant to him. As a performer, he brings this art to life on stage, capturing the imagination of audiences everywhere. He certainly proves that tattoos can go beyond mere decoration. They can be a declaration of identity and creativity. What's the story behind Kurt and Goldie's love? Since 1983, the iconic duo of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn has been lighting up our screens and our hearts, yet they've chosen not to seal the deal with a marriage certificate. This fascinating choice challenges the traditional idea that a relationship needs a legal label to thrive. They met on the set of the movie The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, and their chemistry was undeniable. Over the decades, they've starred together in films like Swing Shift and Overboard, showcasing their powerful partnership both on and off screen. As parents to their son Wyatt Russell and Goldie's daughter Kate Hudson, they demonstrate that love can flourish in many forms. Kurt and Goldie live by the belief that commitment doesn't require a formal ceremony to be genuine. Their long-lasting relationship, filled with laughter, support, and shared experiences, shows us that the heart can maintain its warmth regardless of societal expectations. Their story is a beautiful reminder that love and family are what truly matter. Did you know almonds and peaches are relatives? It turns out that almonds and peaches are members of the same plant family, Rosaceae. These two fruits are distant cousins in the plant world. Despite their differences, they share many biological traits. So next time you enjoy almonds or peaches, remember that your favorite snacks are actually relatives. And nature is full of surprising connections. Here's something incredible about a pricey chess set. Imagine sitting down to play a game of chess, only to realize the board and pieces are worth a staggering $600,000. The Charles Hollander chess set is one of the most expensive in the world, and it's not just any ordinary set. Crafted with a dazzling 325 carats of black and white diamonds, this luxurious collection is a true masterpiece that combines art with strategy. What makes it even more special is its rarity. Only 7 of these exquisite sets have ever been created, making it a prized possession for collectors and chess enthusiasts alike. Each piece is meticulously designed, reflecting not only the elegance of the game, but also the skill of the artisans who brought it to life. While it might be more common to see a plastic or wooden chess set at home, the Hollander set takes luxury to a whole new level. Owning one of these sets isn't just about playing chess. It's about owning a piece of art that commands attention and admiration. The invention of the sandwich, the story behind the snack. John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, invented the sandwich as a convenient snack to eat while playing cards. Not wanting to leave the table, he asked his servant to bring him meat between 2 slices of bread. Thus, the sandwich was born, a perfect snack for multitaskers and gamblers alike. So the next time you enjoy a sandwich, remember that it's more than just a meal. It's a historic snack born from the gaming table. Wonder how blue whales communicate underwater? These enormous creatures, the largest animals on the planet, have a fascinating way of connecting with one another, thanks to their powerful songs. Blue whales produce low-frequency calls that can travel across vast distances in the ocean. These calls are like underwater whispers that travel for hundreds of miles, allowing them to communicate with potential mates or other whales. It's almost as if they're sending text messages, but through sound. Researchers believe these songs also help whales navigate the deep, dark waters, guiding them through the vast and sometimes treacherous oceanic depths. What's truly incredible is that these sounds can be so deep that human ears might struggle to hear them. They fall below the range of typical human hearing. Moreover, these songs not only serve practical purposes, but also play a role in social bonding. Next time you ponder ocean life, remember these gentle giants are not just roaming the seas. They are actively singing and chatting, creating the largest symphony on Earth. You won't believe what this red paint actually means. That red coating on ship hulls? It's not just a stylistic tradition, it's a centuries-old solution to a serious problem. In the age of wooden ships, barnacles, algae, and marine worms would attach to the underside of vessels, slowing them down and damaging the hull. Sailors discovered that copper, toxic to such organisms, could keep ships clean. The copper paint had a distinct reddish tint, and soon red hulls became a global standard. Even with modern ships made of steel and high-tech anti-fouling coatings, red remains the dominant color below the waterline. It's a nod to function over fashion. Red paint saves fuel, improves speed, and reduces maintenance. What looks like a design choice is actually one of the most practical, enduring innovations in maritime history. In the UK, there is a national sport, golf. Do you know its history? Golf originated in Scotland. The first mention of golf dates back to 1497 when King James II banned it to focus citizens on military training. However, in the following years, golf became an integral part of British culture and gained popularity here. Today, golf remains a popular sport, and Scotland continues to host world championships. Millionaire. Without a million, how to get rich from scratch? Who would have thought that in today's world, you can become a millionaire without a single penny? The term millionaire has long been synonymous with wealth and success, but did you know that there's a phenomenon called a nillionaire, from the word nil, zero? This term describes people who, in reality, don't have a million or any significant capital, but live a lifestyle that suggests high status. This can be due to borrowed funds, loans, or the creation of an impression of wealth, though there's no real capital behind it. In an age where social media can turn anyone into a star, this phenomenon is becoming increasingly relevant. Who would have thought that you can appear rich without having real wealth? Thumbs have their own pulse. Have you ever wondered why people check their pulse using their index and middle fingers instead of their thumbs? It's because your thumb has its own pulse. Each thumb is supplied with blood by the radial artery, which runs along the wrist on the thumb side. This artery is so strong that you can feel its pulse when you touch it. That's why it's recommended to avoid using your thumb when taking a pulse, to prevent mixing up its pulse with your actual heartbeat. Now you know that even your thumb has its own little heartbeat. Did you know chickens are descendants of tyrannosaurs? The next time you see a chicken, think about this. You're looking at a distant descendant of the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. Scientific research has shown that chickens and some other modern birds share more traits with these prehistoric predators than any other living animal. This genetic link between chickens and dinosaurs may seem strange, but it's yet another fascinating example of how evolution shapes species. Who would have thought that the mighty T-Rex would one day evolve into a humble chicken? You'll never look at chickens the same way again. Hard to believe, but Iceland has an official elf translator. Icelanders believe in elves so much that they even invite a special translator to communicate with them. Road and building contractors are required to consult with this translator to avoid disturbing elf dwellings. It's believed that elves live in rocks and hills, so if construction is needed, they check first to see if it's an elf home. This way, Iceland builds with possible neighbors in mind. How did a book about cheese conquer the world, even in places where it's rarely eaten? In the 1990s, Spencer Johnson's book, Who Moved My Cheese, was published. It was a motivational fable in which cheese symbolized what people want to achieve in life. The book became wildly popular worldwide, even in countries where cheese is not part of the traditional diet, such as China. This was surprising as the book wasn't about real cheese but metaphorical cheese, which became a symbol of change and personal goals. The message about adapting to change proved to be universal, and the book sold millions of copies globally. Turtles, ancient relics with armor from the past. Turtles are among the oldest reptiles on our planet. Their shells are not just armor, but part of their skeleton that has protected them for over 200 million years. They have witnessed dinosaurs come and go, survived ice ages and mass extinctions. Some species can live over 150 years, and leatherback turtles can weigh up to 900 kilograms. They can swim across oceans, covering thousands of kilometers in search of food. Turtles are true masters of survival, carrying their mystery and charm through the ages. Have you ever wondered what the Meteora in Greece hides in its history of fighting against invaders? Meteora consists of unique monasteries perched on high cliffs in Greece. They were built in the Middle Ages by monks who used this inaccessible and protected area as a refuge from Turkish invaders. To reach the monasteries, the monks had to create ladders and special ropes, and until 100 years ago, the only access was via rope ladders. Today, travelers can ascend via a cable car or treacherous stairs, yet they still feel the grandeur and historical power of this place. Can you imagine that Uluru is not just a rock, but a massive monolith revered by many cultures? Uluru is a majestic red monolith located in the center of Australia. It stands 348 meters tall and is one of the most iconic natural landmarks in the world. Uluru holds spiritual significance for the Aboriginal people, who consider it the center of their spiritual world. Despite its popularity among tourists, local traditions call for respect toward this site, including a ban on climbing the rock itself.